Welcome to my Tin Talk. It's a show where I, Tindoman, ramble about whatever interests me, and you, the viewer, listen. Because we both got nothing better to do. So, how's your day? Pretty good, pretty bad, okay, maybe even lackadaisical? I see you're looking fine, I guess. I like your shirt, unless you're shirtless. And I love what you did with your head. Unless you know you're headless. Look, I don't know what you guys look like, okay? Anyways, man, did you see the Switch 2? Looks to be a pretty cool system. Looking all smooth like, all sleek like, all more powerful than the original like. Yeah, I suppose it sucks that the games are as expensive as they are. Frickin' not $90, but $80 for a new Mario Kart game, but come on. You don't have to be a Nintendo fan to catch yourself sleeping with a copy of Mario Kart World after a rough night at GameStop. The numbers never lie, people. The numbers never lie. At least the Switch 2 is, from what I've gathered, fairly priced. I mean, we know Nintendo will still be selling the 7-year-old precursor at its original $299 price, and the OLED's $349. And in 7 years, things are bound to change because inflation's a bee. Well, what can I say? Welcome to capitalism, I guess. Population, several empty wallets. Including mine, because I gotta get my hands on a new Nintendo Switch 2! But hey, those mouse controls seem pretty neat. If only Nintendo had a better way of showing them off for gameplay, rather than the Rocket League chair game that looks kind of uncomfortable to control. Oh wait, they do Super Mario Maker 3! Building in that game always felt best in handheld mode, although a stylus would have been nice for me. What would have also been nice is not using the joystick in TV mode because it's so slow. Sure, you get better precision, but I want to make my levels fast, and watching the cursor slowly wobble its way across the screen when I'm purposely drifting my Joy-Con off of my hands is nowhere near as fast as just swiping at the screen in handheld mode. That's one of the few things the original Mario Maker had over its sequel. You could at least draw with your hand or stylus on the TV because of the gamepad. Maybe the mouse will make Mario Maker making more manageable on my metacarpals. You know, it's been a while since I've religiously played SMM2. I wonder what they'd put in a new game. Well, I came prepared. A couple years back, I made a list of all the things I wanted in Mario Maker 3. It's a big list, so I'll just cruise the highlights, make witty observations and remarks regarding what silly past things past me would have wanted, and link the PDF for the full thing in the description. Alright, now let's see here. Placeable lava and water? Yep, I still want that. Why restrict these two liquids to the castle and forest? And why have them only be a flat river that takes up the entire length of the level? I mean, the option to have the old version would still be nice, but really think of the level possibilities here. A giant fish tank, an aquarium, an oasis, a downhill river chase, a volcano, even hell itself. Yeah, I wouldn't complain if they put my idea in there. Really, there's just more parts I want to actually be placeable in the same way as a ground block or a brick, according to this list. Like, why randomly generate background decor when we could just place it wherever we want, whenever we want? And why come moving around a semi-solid is like resizing an image on some image editing software? Can't I just build semi-solids the way I'd like? And that slopes to semi-solids too. That's on the list as well. Speaking of which, looks like I also wanted foreground semi-solids as an option. Basically just semi-solids, but in front of the player. I think mostly to give more depth to levels. I knew people would probably use these foregrounds to block the player's view of what was going on so that they could troll them with unexpected hazards. So I suggested putting a visibility bubble around the player that shows what's behind the semi-solid. Other highlights include fans that push objects and players around, which the creator can choose how strong the winds are and how far the winds blow, portals that instantly transport players, objects and enemies to new locations, green stars as an alternative to the linear end goal, having all of them being collected in any order under the time limit to complete the level, and NPCs that produce creator-made text and images. I also thought of this Princess Peach mode, which would give the player an option to play as her, being an easier version of Mario, being more durable, having a floating ability, and using her parasol as a shield, along with obtaining modified abilities from available power-ups. There are also some adjustments to the 3D world style, because apparently young me thought that Nintendo was going to keep using that style for the threequel instead of just doing something new and different. An idea I had were layers. Basically, the player could build in the foreground and the background of a level, and have Mario travel between the two planes, or have enemies taking advantage of their placements between the two planes. Other things I'd add were the boring, unoriginal stuff everyone else wants, like these power-ups, and these enemies, and these level parts and gizmos. Like I said, the PDF is right there. You know, looking back on the list, while I still agree with most of the additions and changes, it really feels like I played it safe. There were no new themes or new styles, no changes in how making or managing courses would work, nothing about extra game modes, not to mention that the original list has some mistakes. Like here, I wrote down that I like an option for a grounded firebar that the player must jump over instead of ducking under in the 3D World style. Except, there is no firebar in the 3D World style in the first place. And later in the same section, I say that the bar would be able to melt frozen coin blocks. Except, there aren't frozen coin blocks in this style either. You know, that's stupid. You can't add fire bars, you can't add frozen coin blocks, you can't even stack enemies in this style. What's up with that? But if I were to add, change, or improve some things in a possible Mario Maker 3 now, let's see here. Better online, that's for sure. And just let us search up course names. Give us the ability to look at how other people have made their levels. I'm tired of them gatekeeping all the coolest Mario Maker build strategies. Give us more than 4 Mario songs to use, like Jump Up Superstar from Odyssey or Luigi's Mansion theme. Let us use more than one subworld. Do the castle courses always have to end with an axe? Add a beach theme, a volcano theme, and a space theme. It may be too early, but a Super Mario Wonder style wouldn't hurt. Or better yet, if they do actually bring back 3D worlds as a possible style, they should fully come in and just make it a 3D editor instead of a 2.5D one. Or better again, let's think about it. Hear me out. Super Mario Maker 3D.
Daring today, aren't we?
Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and Super Mario Odyssey as the styles. They're the games with the most similarities to warrant seamless transition. And bring back the amiibo costumes. They were my favorite feature from the first game that I'd never played. And on the topic of games I've never played, can we get Yoshi's Woolly World back? I don't care if it's a remake or a remaster or just a dead-up port. That's my favorite Yoshi game. Even though I've never played it. Huh. Well, that's all I have for today. This has been Tin Talks. You heard me ramble, now it's your turn. Tell me, what would you put in Mario Maker 3? Will you get Mario Kart World? Did you spam drop the price in the Treehouse presentation, yet already made pre-order purchases, regardless of thinking no one would notice? I mean, you can comment that stuff if you want. I'll still read them. Take care now.